If you're listening to this, chances are you're not new to this industry. You built teams, led leaders, navigated compensation plans, and figured out how to win inside imperfect systems. You understand leverage, you understand timing, and you understand that most people never make it far enough to ever see the real game. So let's start with respect where it's due. If you earned your position, it wasn't accidental. You've learned how to communicate, how to motivate, how to duplicate, and how to carry weight for other people's results. That level of competence doesn't disappear. But what often creeps in quietly is not failure, but friction. At a certain stage, the work changes. You're no longer learning the basics, you're managing complexity. You're no longer building belief, you're maintaining structures. And slowly, you may notice something uncomfortable. The leverage you expect to compound is starting to flatten. Not because you lost skill, but because the model stopped rewarding it proportionally. Maybe you felt the operational drag, endless calls to stabilize morale, constant coaching on fundamentals you mastered years ago, rebuilding legs that churn faster than they should, defending pricing, policies, or strategic decisions you didn't design yet are expected to justify. It's not dramatic burnout, it's strategic fatigue. And at the same time, the math gets tighter. Bloated pricing creates resistance. High ownerships increases pressure. Compensation plans technically work, but only if your everything lines up perfectly. Timing, rank, placement, momentum, behavior. You know how rare perfect conditions actually are. Eventually, a quiet realization sets in. The system rewards positioning more than performance, and while you can still win inside, the question becomes whether it's the best use of your experience going forward. That momentum isn't about quitting, it's about upgrading perspective. High level builders don't burn bridges, they build optionally. They look for parallel strategies that reduce fragility, increase retention, and restore alignment between effort and reward. They look for simpler engines that don't require constant emotional fuel to keep running. That's where LiveGood enters the conversation. Not as hype, not as a replacement, but as a structural evolution. At its core, LiveGood removes friction where most models add it. Mass market pricing makes products easy to say yes to and easier to stay with. Retention improves because of pressure, but because of the value stands on its own. The compensation plan structure is intentionally simple. Volume matters more than noise. You don't need personal branding theatrics to make the system work. You don't need high-ticket ownerships just to keep commissions alive. And while leadership always matters, the model doesn't collapse if you step back from constant recruiting. That's a subtle but powerful shift. Duplication improves when the message is clean. The systems scale better when consumers' value is obvious. And leverage increases when your income isn't overly dependent on babysitting behavior or managing emotional volatility in the field. What's notable is that many experienced leaders are quietly evaluating this model as a strategic hedge, not publicly announcing anything, but not making dramatic exits, simply assessing whether this structure aligns better with where they are now, not where they were 10 years ago. Think of it like upgrading infrastructure rather than working harder on outdated machinery. Live Good can run alongside what you're already doing. No bridges burned, no forced decisions, just clarity. It gives you a way to test a cleaner system, observe retention dynamics, and evaluate leverage from the inside without pressure. And timing matters here. Early positioning in a simple consumer driven model compounds differently than late positioning in a complex one. That's not hype, that's pattern recognition. So, this isn't about convincing you of anything, it's an invitation to satisfy intellectual curiosity, to look under the hood of a model designed to reduce friction instead of managing it. There's no credit card, no obligation, and no commitment, just information. And every day you delay evaluating better leverage is a day someone else is securing positioning. If you value simplicity, scalability, and alignment, and you want to see how this system actually works from the inside, take the free tour in the description down below.